What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to the podcast. Got a special guest by the name of Traz. What's going on, Brett? How you doing?
I'm good, bro. How you?
I'm good. I'm good, man. Thank you for coming through, bro.
Of course. Anytime, bro.
Thank you, sir. All right, bro. Before we start, bro, give us a little background about yourself, man.
Uh, my name is my stage name is illTraz. My real name is like PK, but I'm from Maryland.
All right.
Yeah, I moved to New York when I was 20 years old. You know,
Okay.
and pursued modeling. I do music. I design like
All right.
clothes. I make music, design clothes, and model. I mean, I mainly model, but
All right. That's what's up. That's what's up. How did you get into fashion, bro? How did that start?
Well, like a lot of my friends, they were just into fashion, but like I wasn't like very big on like knowing all of that. So I was just like trying whatever. And then one day, like my friend, he was like, "You should be a model," and I was like, "Where?" I was like, "You think I would be good at that?" And so basically, I just asked them, and they're like, "Yeah." So next thing you know, I took a chance, came straight to New York, and I had like pictures on my iPhone that I printed out like at Walgreens actually, and
Oh, what?
just went in, yep, and got signed same day.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's dope. I remember like the day I think you signed with you got posted by Red Models.
yeah,
And like since then, bro, like I just kind of like just follow your journey, bro. Like since then, you just been moving. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, I got to regardless. I gotta keep it up, of course.
No, no, that's dope, bro. That's dope. Nah, dude, I'm gonna play this clip. Like you have done shows for you know Pierre Moss, Alexandra
Yeah,
Wang, Off White. Like, I mean, like some of the big names in fashion, bro. Like,
yeah.
talk about doing shows and like just you been on the wrong way and talk about that like the moment that you do this stuff.
Like I don't know. It's like it's an amazing experience every time. It always is. It's like so like you feel like
Okay.
the energy in it.
All
Like
right.
especially like it gets to a certain point because at sometimes it just feels like, oh, it's so hard. Like modeling is kind of like a it's like a you don't really get to not every model, even like people, normal people don't get to experience that, but
Yeah.
even models, not a lot of models get to do that type of thing, and you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
to get to these stages where you're walking for these major fashion houses and these brands is like a really big accomplishment, even for some
Wow.
models. Like, yeah, and like to have the opportunity to do that, like so amazing. Like I can't be more blessed to be able to say that I was able to work with this fashion house. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I would hands down say one of my favorite shows that I've walked is definitely Off White, for sure.
Okay.
That was the epitome of like shows that I have done. Even though I've done like a whole lot, and like I've flown all over the world to do a show. Like just to do one show is crazy. To
Wow.
halfway across the world, not even sometimes all the way around the world, just so you can do a show and then go back home. It's kind of crazy to think about.
Wow. You know, one of your favorite show was Off White. Obviously, rest in peace, Virgil Abloh. Talk about the moment. You working with Virgil, bro. Like, talk about that.
Like working with Virgil is actually crazy. Is when I like realized that I was like in this sort of like world. with like all these
Okay.
people. You only see them on Instagram, but you never really, you know, never seen them in person, or if you see them in person, it's only for a short amount of time. But as far as Virgil, it's so crazy to think about now because of the fact that like I was standing so close to him, and like I even got to interact with him. I asked him how his day was going, as like right before the show was about to begin, and like he was like, "Oh, I feel good. I'm fine." He was like, I'm feeling good. Like, and that is so crazy to hear because I feel like not a lot of people, especially when you are of that caliber, people I feel like just automatically assume like, "Oh, he's good. He doesn't need any support. He doesn't need anybody to ask him." But I just felt like asking him, and
Wow.
yeah, it's
Now that's
crazy.
real, bro. That's real. That's definitely dope. Like during the show, we also had Playboy Cardi and Offset as well. I mean,
Yeah, I actually
what
took
was
a
like doing a show
picture.
with them?
Yeah, I took a picture with Cardi and Offset. I like had a little conversation with him during like the fitting and stuff, but like it was crazy because this is like, yeah, they're like at the top of the game right now. You know what I mean? And seeing that is just so surreal. Seeing like a person whose music you influence you or music that you listen to
Uh
is
huh.
just unreal. Yeah, I
Wow.
took a picture. I have a picture. I never posted it because I was like, I'm I'm like I'm a fan of myself before anybody else. So I was just like,
Okay.
it's Cardi. I mean, yeah, people will probably like it if I post it, but I was just
I
like,
see.
nah, I'm gonna save
Okay.
this one for me, for myself,
Wow.
to let
Okay.
me know how far I've come in my journey.
Now that's real. So it's like you didn't want to, like I guess, look like a fanboy, maybe. Like
Yeah,
you didn't want,
I'm very much against that type energy. I don't put out that type
to
energy.
keep going, bro. So like I say, you said one of your best shows was the Off White show with Virgil Abloh. So
Yeah,
just to keep going, I mean, also like, cause I think you have done PMS multiple times, bro. Like, you done the
yeah,
campaign for them. I mean, just
yeah.
bro, like talk about working with for PMS, bro.
It's such an experience. Carvito is a really hardworking man, and he does not take any slack. He does not accept it at all.
Wow.
Yeah. And one day, I was like tired on set. He's like, "Oh, you tired?" Like he was like he was almost like in that energy, like, "Oh, if you're tired, then go home." Type mentality. He's like that type of person. He wants perfection, and he wants you to be on point with it. He's not gonna accept, "Oh, I'm gonna do it halfway this way," because he's at the top of his game, and look where it got him. You know what I mean? It got him to
Nah,
the top. He
facts.
won CFD. He won the CFDA award last year.
Wow.
Men's best men's wear, or is no, it was best designer. Yeah, just like
Wow.
that. You know?
A lot of the people that you have talked about, like Virgil, you know, Pierre Moss, it's like those guys, bro. Like, it's like we see them on social media, we see their work, but like getting the opportunity to work with them, have a conversation with them. I mean, like that's what I'm saying. It's an experience itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, so definitely, man. But to keep going, bro. You've been a model, bro.
Mhm.
What are some of the obstacles you think you have faced?
It's like a lot of normal stuff. Self doubt. You know, the competition. Because like modeling can be very competitive, especially like when you go to a casting, you see a bunch of people, and then you see some guys who look just like you. Some guys who look just like me. They got the dress, they got the thing, and you know what I mean. And you have to like face that fact. Like I'm in a competition, but then it makes you also want to carry that mentality into like every other aspect of your life, which is not always like the best. It's not always a good idea to do because you
Uh
should
huh.
always be on your own path. But
Not facts. Like you're not just a model.
yeah,
You make music as well, bro. So like, when did you start making music, bro? Like, what got you to making music?
I've been making music even before I was modeling. Yeah,
Okay.
before modeling even became a thing. I've been making music since I was 18. You know, like in my friend's house, I would just go over there, I'd pick out a beat, and slap it on. We using like Logic and
Okay.
shit, like getting it in, and then I don't know, like as like time has carried on, and like I've been realizing like all the social media, like and the influx and like the oversaturation of the music industry.
Yeah.
I have just not really been making music anymore.
Okay.
I still will make music, but
Uh
like
huh.
I tend to do it more so like a hobby now. Yeah, I have
Ah.
so many songs that I haven't released. I have like over like 100 songs just sitting on my phone.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta drop the song now, man. I mean, when you said the music scene is so oversaturated, bro. Obviously, do you say that as a good thing or a bad thing?
I mean, both, because you get new music, but then you also have all these other artists that are not so good, but they think they're good, and you know, like maybe I'm one of those artists. We don't know. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't really think so because I think about music so much like differently. So I
Okay.
think I have the potential to be even better artist, but of course, everybody has to work on their craft.
Uh
But
huh.
as far as like the oversaturation, I just think I don't think everybody needs to make music.
Ah.
Is
Okay.
that's yeah. I don't think everybody needs to make music. Like honestly, that's part of the reason why I turned music into my hobby instead of
Uh huh.
my actual like end goal. Like I want to be a musician. Like because I
Yeah.
just thought about it. I was like, everybody wants to make music. I don't. I like making music. I'll make music, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pursue it
I
like,
see.
oh, this is the end goal. I'm trying to get a record deal
Nah,
and
facts.
become a rapper. Like, no.
Nah, cause it's like one of those things. Like if it happens, it happens, kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Like I
So
have so many other avenues of things that I can do. You know what I mean? I'm already a
nah,
model.
facts.
Like, you know what I mean? So
Nah, facts. And that's the key thing. It's kind of like having like multiple streams of income and just being versatile in your skill set. Because if
yeah.
all you do is make music, and also I'm gonna say this to what you said, bro. I'm like, I feel like what separates someone that makes music as a hobby or just like really enjoys making music to what for someone that wants to make it and like I mean we all want to make it in life, bro. But like what separates someone
Of
that
course.
but what's I feel like what separates someone from I make music and like they enjoy making music because that's like their hobby and someone that just want to chase the clout.
Just make it. Yeah.
It's like there's a different because like we all know someone that's been making music for since we've been knowing them. You know what I mean? And they're still doing it. And, like they
Yeah.
enjoy it, the passion. They enjoy putting the work and like that's what they enjoy doing. Versus someone that just wants
Yeah.
to do it for clout. You know what I mean? And I feel like that separates someone between like to what they're saying. So yes, it's just oversaturated, but like the guys who enjoy it are gonna keep doing it because that's what they like to do. You know what I mean? And the
Yeah.
guys who are just doing it for clout or check or whatever they're doing it for, they're gonna learn sooner or later that it's not gonna work out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what separates the two. Yeah, you dropped that
Yeah.
EPL's gate, and then like, cause I remember when you dropped it, like on your page, I actually went and listened to the whole thing, and like
Yeah.
this song here was just like it didn't even sound like you for a minute, bro. But like then it also like it was very different, cause like the other track you had a certain flow, and this one you had like a whole different flow on that song, bro.
Yeah.
And
No,
it was
like that's the thing. Like I like to make music that nobody's really making. I like to like
okay.
experiment. So like my music is very experimental like that. This one
Ah,
song might not sound like the next song, might not sound like the next song, and then
I
plus I
see.
have like artists that I collaborate with as well, which
Okay,
also goes into like changing the sound and the flow.
I see. So, what's your creative process when you make music, bro? Like, because you say you've been making music for before you did fashion. So, what's the creative process when you make music?
'Cause my creative process has definitely gotten better. When I first started making music, I was like writing. I would write everything, write
Okay,
how the song would wanted to go, how I kind of wanted to flow on it. And at first, it didn't really work out for me. And then I got better at writing, And then somewhere along the line, I just started freestyling, and then I felt like freestyling was the way for me. And then I now every time I'm in the studio or somewhere, I just freestyle. I'll just do it take by take and just chop it up, you know.
Wow. So you
So
have different ways of doing it, basically. That's what you're saying. Like
yeah,
you have different
I
ways
can
of.
write
Okay,
too,
cool.
but
All
yeah,
right, that's good. That's good. So my next thing, bro, because we talk about the fashion, we talk about the music. When people get signed, bro, like the stuff that you have accomplished, bro, that don't mean like you're gonna get signed, you're gonna accomplish that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you have worked with like names like Virgil Abloh, like you know what I'm saying. Very few people have worked with that man. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
and so you know you go into you getting for one you getting signed as a model, and then you just getting signed, and he actually picks up for you, and you accomplish a lot of things, bro. And then you doing your music as well, like just you being creative, bro. What impact has that have on your personal life?
Like the impact of like my creativity and
Yeah, just you being in
everything.
fashion, you being in music, and just what
I
impact does
mean,
that have?
it's kind of crazy because like being since like being brought into the industry and like of fashion and like this whole world, I've gotten into more like designing. Like I'm gonna end up releasing like a collection. I
Oh,
don't know if
word.
it's gonna be soon, but it's gonna be relatively soon.
Okay.
um yeah, and that is one way that fashion and music have kind of like shifted for me, like
Okay.
basically brought me into the like the design world. So now I want to like design like clothes and pieces and do a whole runway show and that sort of thing.
Oh
And
wow.
like as far as like socially, like yeah, I mean, you know how it is. I go up to a girl or whatever and talk to her. She like, and then she's like, "Oh, what do you do?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm a model." And they're like, "Oh, I can tell." And I'm like, "Okay." But I just roll with it just because it's like, you know, I can't say like, how can you tell? Like, you know, it's almost like a compliment in a way, but
Okay.
at the same time, it's like, you know, it just comes.
I
I feel like
see.
it just all encompasses like that world in a sense. I don't know how to say it. It's kind of like because I got put into the scene, because I got put into this world.
Uh huh.
Now, like people, some because you know it can be anything. If I said I was a rapper, a girl would have still been like, "Oh, I could see that," you know, like
Yeah.
which is what I also do. But you know what I mean.
Okay.
So I feel like getting put into this like thing. It's kind of like being put into a bubble, but it's not a bad bubble to be put in. You know what I mean?
Ah, okay. I like the fact that you talk about how you know you go up to a girl just wherever, and you're like, oh, what do you do? Oh, I'm a model, I'm a rapper, whatever. In the fashion world, it's such a its own niche where like only a person that's really in it can understand what's going on. You get me? So when it comes to like, oh, let's say you go somewhere else, I'm a model, or I'm a rapper. They might not take you as serious versus when you're in your own little niche and you tell someone I'm a rapper. Like, oh, you make music, because they also are
Yeah,
creative themselves. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And I feel like that's dope that you mentioned that. At the end of the show, I like to ask this question. I feel like we all inspire each other, bro. So coming from Ghana, you grew up in Maryland. You know, getting signed as a model, and then also like you getting signed, accomplishing a lot while you got signed, and then like making music as well, like finding yourself now in a whole different way. What advice do you have for your younger self?
a younger self.
Yeah.
Um, I would say don't stress anything too much, and just focus on what you're doing creativity
Okay.
wise. Focus on what you're doing creatively
All
because
right.
that is the only impact that we all have. You know what I mean?
Ah.
That's the
Okay.
only thing that people have. Once you take away the clothes, you take away the money, you take away everything. That's all you have is creativity.
No, that's facts. All right, Traz. Like I said, we talked about a lot. We talked about, you growing up in Maryland,
Yeah,
you get into modeling, you making music, and and now look like where you are now. Accomplishing a lot, working with Virgil, working with big big name brands that people love to wear. Um, where can we find you, bro? Just to tap into your work and just keep following you on your journey. Where
Um,
can we find you?
my Instagram is illTraz, ILLTRAZ.
Okay.
Same on Twitter, and yeah, I have a TikTok too, but my TikTok is illTraz10K. I gotta
Uh,
start posting more on there as well, but
yeah, you should definitely do that, bro. I mean, like I say, I don't know if you're going to drop the song or when you're going to drop the song,
we'll
but
see. We'll
I
see.
I think you should definitely tap into that.
I mean,
What
I
else?
did I did drop a song not too long ago. It's called Blood Russian. Is like not
Word.
too long ago. Yeah, actually. Yeah,
So I'm gonna check
I
that out.
completely forgot. But
I'm gonna check that out. That concludes it. If you enjoy this content, make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe. Peace out.